Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I feel great today. I hope everybody's doing well, sending you positive thoughts, love, and appreciation. Today, I have a very special guest, Miss Prudence Kalloo, and I'm very excited to talk to her. She loves helping people find their aha moments and vibrational switch. When someone is stuck, she loves watching as they switch perspectives so that the person can choose a different thought and move in a different vibration. She believes all of us has the answer within ourselves and sometimes just forget how to access it. She is an encourager and a reminder. How you doing, Prudence?
I am blessed. I am blessed. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. It started off the day started off with a little bit of turbulence, but I'm thankful that I'm here talking to you. And I know this before the end of this conversation, this dialogue, that I will feel a million times better. But I'm already feeling better right now in your presence. And I look forward to listening to your some of your perspectives and your wisdom and enlightenment and just what inspires you and your thoughts, your goals. So what can you tell me a bit about what you have going on right now?
Yes. Okay. Well, I want to say too, first of all, you're right about this. 1st of March started off with a bang, but I feel the switch of vibration already since we started talking. So I'm so grateful to the universe for that. I have a couple of things going on right now. As you know, because I had you on my group, the All Things Possible page. I have this inspiration always to work with spirit, right? I feel most of us do.
Right.
And I've been doing coachings and different things in the community, but lately I have this nudge to bring all of us together. Like, so meaning I've been interviewing other people also in the community, bringing out their gifts, their projects, their whatever they're working on that they want to offer the collective. Um, my platform is not huge, but creating a platform so people can do that, so people can access it. Says, hey, I'm looking for music, or hey, I'm looking for an artist, or I'm looking for a cook, or I'm looking for some. I have a abundance whisperer coming on, and just the different people in our community that does so many cool things. Just bring them out more in the light. I feel inspired to do that at the moment, so that's what I'm working on.
Absolutely. I can resonate with that because
Yeah,
I feel that oftentimes we celebrate our our entertainers, our quote unquote famous people,
yeah,
and there's people in everyday life that deserves that same recognition and admiration. So
yeah.
what you're doing is making that happen, and I'm doing the same thing. So
I
that's
was
why I
just gonna
believe that.
say,
Yeah,
yeah, we're doing
I
the
believe
same.
that's why we've connected. Go ahead, Prudence.
And that's what's so cool to me is that because we are doing the same thing, but it's everybody can do, like, say have a platform and say, and everybody does it in a different flavor, and just like it's just a perfect synchronization that can happen with all of us. We're all doing the same things, just different ways. Like, I believe we're all living the same plot but different storylines. We're so
Yes,
connected as humans, and that is one of the things I hear one of my favorite teacher always says is that we're all teachers at the core of our being and healers. We always want to help other people heal and always want to teach what we've learned too.
absolutely. We all put our own unique flavor and spin on the ways, the way that we have dialogues with people, and like you said before, I've had uh, several conversations with you, and you you put it in a very easy to digest way. Just basically, I just lost my thought, but
It's
basically, yeah, yeah,
okay.
everybody, you know,
We all
we
have
all
it.
have
We
a
all
story to
have
tell.
that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all have a story to tell. We all have knowledge to share, and just talking to different people, stimulates different thought currents and different
Yeah.
perspectives, and you just let it. That's why we said even before this show that we would just let it flow. It didn't have to be anything rehearsed. We just know that
Yeah.
we have similar mindsets
Yeah.
and similar goals, so we could just talk about it. But yeah, as you stated before, things just open up. Like I told you, I had an interview later on
Yeah.
this week, and I was expressed concern, if I was able to keep up with the complexity of the gentleman that I will be speaking with, and you
Yes.
assured me it'll flow, things will open up, the universe will
Yes.
just open up things, and you'll go right along with it. And you know what? You're right.
Yeah. You know what? It reminds me, one of my favorite books where I feel like a lot of the people maybe watching this video, if not including yourself, have read Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God. Have you
Yes.
read that book?
No,
Right.
I haven't,
Or
but
heard of
I've
it?
heard of it.
Okay. So there's a part in the book where now all of a sudden I'm like, wait, is that the book? Because I've read like three of his books, but it's in one of his books where he called this is where I got where I'm a reminder from. Because within all of us, right, we all have the knowledge that we're supposed to, have at our stage of life. But sometimes by hearing somebody else's story or sharing something with someone, it clicks in you and it reminds you of your own power within yourself. So
Absolutely.
and that's why I like to say that's why we are all reminders for each other, right? Because we're all evolving
Encouragers.
and
Yeah.
extending it into this higher being. So I believe that all of us are reminders, and that's what you do too in the conversations that we have with other people. We're reminding each other, like, of the core of our being, who we are. I love doing that. Like I get
Yes.
joy from doing that.
Yes. And sharing different perspectives, even if you after give it some thought, you still come to a conclusion that it's not your own thought, or you don't you know believe or think that way. You still can
Yeah,
learn and learn from different perspectives, and just be able to just hear where people are coming from, and just
yeah,
make expand your awareness and consciousness when you are listening to these different perspectives, because I believe that if I really want to get deep into it, I say that there is no one truth, and everybody can have their own truths
yeah,
that resonate with them, and that they feel in their perspective that's working for them. So
yeah,
why not listen to something that is working for someone, or someone is passionate about, or like you said, they're sharing from their current level of consciousness,
experience.
awareness, thought,
Yeah,
thought process. And we all have different levels. Like next year, if we talk again, or when we do, we'll talk about some other things. We
yeah.
might talk
So
some
how
of the
we've
foundation.
expanded.
Yeah, some of the
Yeah,
foundation might be the same, but we're going to have some different ideas, and
yeah.
we're going to have grown in different ways,
I
or
think about how
expanded.
many times when I was in the church, consistently I used to go to church and stuff, and how many times I've been in a state of belief of some new thought or understanding or understanding. And I would die for what I believe in. Like I would be like, I don't care what you said, this is what I believe, and I believe in that. I will die for it. I believe it so
Absolutely.
strongly. And then you hear a conversation or something or read something and some information crosses your path and it starts making you wonder and thinking like, oh, I wonder, and your thoughts shifts until
Mhm.
it shifts. And now you've opened up to a different belief than what you would die for. Now I really believe in this. I realized I was doing that so much. I realized my beliefs, first of all, changed. And then you can hear something somebody says and it marinates in your subconscious, in your mind. And if it's for your spirit, will show you and feed it to you the way it's supposed to help you expand and shift your belief again. So we're always shifting, in our beliefs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the important thing is to remain open for those shifts, and open for
Absolutely.
to be to change your perspectives, to know. And that's the good thing, that's the important thing, that you do know that your perspectives will change, and
Yeah.
things will align with you, different perspectives than what you have now, and allow that to happen, instead of being stuck in
Yeah.
and this is it, and I won't budge from this. When you do that, you cut yourself off from the
Absolutely.
current of expansion, the current of awareness, of consciousness, and you don't want to do that. At
Yeah.
least from my perspective, we don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
You don't.
So
Yeah.
that is very commendable that you are that you have become that person that is open
Well,
to.
I want to give gratitude for, it's so funny. Thank you. I'll take a compliment and say thank you. And I was thinking this weekend as I was doing dishes, somehow my hand was involved with water. This is where a lot of thoughts come from for me. And I was thinking from a young age, right, realizing like again, the church must be something in my spirit trying to tell me because it keeps coming up. But when I was in the church, I remember hearing they says, like you can ask God for anything, and realizing that I have a choice to make, what they say right or wrong, which I know obviously difference now, but you had a choice to make. And I remember praying and asking God, God, if I have a choice to make, my choice is for you to force me to do what's right. Because
Wow,
I want to do what's right. And so
that's
my
good.
choice is for you to take over my body, take over my everything, and like just lead me in the way that you want me to go. And I said that prayer a lot when I was little. And I've just been reminded of that so much when I look back. There was things that I wouldn't think I would choose that. But if I really trust that when I asked that prayer that God was gonna, which was allowing my higher self to lead me now, I
Yeah,
look back, right? And if I
basically,
if I didn't give that permission fully, obviously
yeah,
everything I went through, I had to have gone through from my evolution because I gave that freedom to my spirit from a young age and says, lead me the way that help me be, the way you want me to be. And I was like,
absolutely,
okay,
a
that's
form of
exactly what's
surrender.
happening.
Yeah, a form of
Yeah,
surrendering to the flow, surrendering to the universe, surrendering to God, and just allowing. And
yeah.
yeah,
It
that's
was
yeah,
beautiful for me to realize that. I was very grateful to say that. I
wow.
look back and see where I allowed that to happen. And so where I am, I must be meant to be here. And I am moving in the direction because I continuously, in my own ways now, which is not say God forced me, but I surrendered to that higher power to say, lead me then, lead me to where you
That's
want me to go.
amazing, because that reminds me of a segment that I saw that I was watching, um, of Oprah Winfrey, and that's exactly what she said when things really shifted in her life,
Wow.
when she got out of her own way and she started singing, to God, to the universe, that I surrender all. Basically, that
Yes,
I
I heard
really don't
that.
know. Yeah, you've seen, you're familiar
I've
with that?
seen it. Yes, I
Yes.
love that song too. I sing it too.
Yes. So basically, what she was putting out there is that, God, you guide me. The universe, you guide me because I'm in my own way. I'm taking these thoughts, these beliefs that are handed to me, that are
Yes,
around me from other people or whatever. I don't know what to think. You know what I mean? You just guide me. My higher self, the God that's in me. Guide me.
yeah,
I surrender. No
yeah,
resistance, no attachment, and
yeah,
you know obviously it's working very well
yeah,
for her from a you know a professional,
yeah.
monetary, and whatever fame
I
standpoint, and
literally heard
and
from,
she
yeah,
she does seem like a person that's connected with peace as well, because she
I believe
does
so
talk
too.
about a lot of spiritual things, and even a lot of her movies, they always have deep messages.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I know that she's connected. It's not just what's on the outside, what we see, the glitz, the glamour, the money. She's rounded
There's
within
something
her
there. Yeah,
spirit. There's something there. She's rounded
yeah,
within that spirit,
yeah,
within her spirit as well. So
yeah,
that's very important.
yeah,
And yeah, you have found that within yourself too, and you know it seems to be
yeah.
going well
I
for you.
give, yeah, gratefulness. I'm in gratefulness.
So you just started your platform, and do you have a name for your show, or you just kind of going with the
No,
flow
I
right
will. I just call it Prudence's Live so far. It's all things possible, and it's
now?
on the
Okay.
group page. Yeah, so I'm doing it on there, but I do share, on my regular page and everything. But The funny thing was that all things possible. I want to tell you really quick how that name came about, how I ended up coming up with that name for the group. So again, that's so funny. This is the third time. A church again. I was in church and the pastor was talking about how God had named changed Paul to Saul and changed, all the different names from what it was to what he changed them to because the life that God had prepared them for had changed them. And so he said, go home tonight and think and ask God, what name would God have changed your name to? And I did. I went home and I prayed. And I was really praying. I was thinking, all of a sudden I heard my middle name, my name would be All Things Possible. And I was like, All Things Possible. I was like, oh my God, I love it. But it was all one word, All Things Possible. And so I went on Facebook and I changed my middle name to Prudence All Things Possible. It was like
Oh,
2014 or 15. And I had it like that for about 6 months. And then one day Facebook was like, you need to show us proof that this is your middle name. And I was like, it's not my middle name. And it was like, well, then you have to remove it or you have to delete your account. And I was like, what? And so I was like, I let it go. And a few months later, I had, started going into a lot of the groups like Hay House and Abraham Hicks and Conscience and the Must, all these different groups. And there were certain things that I couldn't post because it would either have curse words or it would have um, 420 on it. I don't know what the right term to use,
yes, yes,
but
I know
and they would
exactly
say you
what you mean.
can't post that on here. And I
Okay.
was like, well, all things are possible, and my spirit led me to just open up a group that we can share what we're learning. You can share things like that. I just didn't want it to be very religious or disrespectful to other people. And then that group just started growing from there. We would share experiments, like if you heard of 2 weeks of writing affirmations. I've done stuff like that on the page, or
Wow.
um, yeah, we've done different little experiments that I learned from Joe Dispenza or different speakers and
Joe
teachers out there.
Dispenza.
I would, yeah,
Yes, I love Joe.
I would,
Joe Dispenza. Yes, I've
yeah, I
read
love,
a
yeah,
couple of his
him, Bruce
books.
Lipton, all of them. I would listen to things and be like, let's try this, you guys. And so it started off there. And then throughout time, then with the corona last year, I really was intending on doing like retreats. I really would love to do retreats and just have people get together. And we have this. There's nothing really um stamped in, like I don't want the itinerary, there will be, but I was planning on, I was getting all ready for it and the corona hit. And I was like, oh no, now people are gonna be scared to go into Airbnbs and all this stuff was being said. And I was like, I need a different direction. And then one of my friends invited me to do a card reading with her and it just exploded. I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. I should have more people come on with me. And I was like, why not? And then it just flowed, to the next, to the next. So I don't have a name for it yet. I just know I'm having fun doing it. It's so much fun when I bring people on and then I start seeing other people telling me like they love this person's work or they want to know more about this person. I'm like, that's the intention that I wanted. And to see it
Yes,
happen, makes me excited.
yes, and you're learning a lot from from other people that you attract into your experience as well.
It's so fun. It's so much fun
Yes.
for me.
So yeah, it is fun. It's fun talking to people, and
Yeah.
there's a you know everything is perspective, like how we're looking at what's going on right now with the C word. I don't really want to say it, but it's caused a lot of us to do things like this, like you
Yeah.
know, to
Redirect
reach out. Yeah,
or
yeah, to
rebirth.
reach out with people
Yes.
via internet or social media from
Yes.
all walks of life all around the world. And
Yeah.
we wouldn't have, probably, if this wasn't going on, we wouldn't have been as adamant about it, you
This
know
rate, at this rate,
at
maybe.
this
Yeah, it would have
rate,
been a slower pace.
slower
Yeah.
pace. So it's like,
Yeah.
basically, it's like going with the flow. Like, okay, I'm gonna take this and and use this energy to help propel me this way.
Yeah. I,
And like you
th-
said, it might have stopped or postponed your plans for your retreats, but which will happen, especially if you keep that in your consciousness, you keep visualizing and talking about that
yes.
along those lines
Oh yeah.
with
There's other
yourself and
ways I
people.
see it
It
unfolding.
will manifest, I believe
Yes.
that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like I said, it might have slowed that down a bit. It didn't stop it, just
Yeah.
postponed it a bit. But
Yeah.
you have something else over here that's building up at the same time, and that's equally as uplifting to yourself and humanity, other people.
Yes.
And
I look at like the perfect and the perfect unfoldment of everything, like you said, because that was the seed that was planted. Just because it's not, the fruit is not there, doesn't mean the branches and the leaves are not growing, and how all of it happens in perfect um everything, the elements, everything plays together in order for something to grow. I believe it's the same thing happening, because I was thinking, even just to get to this point to where I felt I can reach out to people, it's because we've been in each other's lives for a few years. We've developed a relationship, connections, and communications, and so it's making this next step easier. And I thought, if I would have jumped to that first, it wouldn't have feel so good, flow so well. I wouldn't have had such the connection in such a deeper way than I do now. But that had to happen first, and then this. And like you said, I know the others will flow that way as well, because everything takes its perfect timing and happens in perfect time. Thank you so much for that reminder. I needed that right now.
right. Yeah, so like I
Everything
said,
does
I
have a
always say
perfect
that the
reminder.
universe is the perfect orchestrator. And if
Yes,
you realize that and flow with it instead of fighting against it and resisting it,
yes,
struggle, then things will always will flow. When one door closes, if you have that mindset that this door must have closed, it might be disappointing for a moment. We are human, we're not robots, so we
yes,
have emotions. Things disappoint us, but don't stay there. Don't stay in that woe is me, feeling sorry for yourself, disappointment, anger, resentment. Just know, okay, this door closed, might be disappointing, but that just means that something else, other opportunities are going to open up.
absolutely.
And as long as you move with that mindset,
Yeah.
always will be. It will always be that way.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you have to take your moment. Yeah, and alignment. Alignment. That's one of
Yes.
my favorite things to talk about. And what I would, expand on even more in retreats is the gift of meditation, and how many different ways you can do that. And that gift of meditation, how it just helps you line up, because there are moments, like I was saying earlier today, just started with a bang for me, and it felt heavy. And
Yes.
I, because of been practicing, so I started practicing meditating in front of people, in crowds, on purpose. So like, not like sit like this, but sit where they don't know what I'm doing, and I am inhaling and not going, not obviously. I wanted it to be very natural, where I went into a state of meditation around people in a crowd on purpose. I started practicing that for
Wow.
moments when I am in a tight situation and I need to go into that line, because channelers do it, right? They get in front of a whole bunch of thousands of people, and they can
People. Yes.
channel a being to speak and allow them to speak through them. So I want to be able to do that, not for the purpose of like speaking, but if that happens, I'm open for that too. But what I'm saying is that just to be able to align myself no matter where I am, because a lot of the times what happens is the oxygen is not flowing in our body, so we are in this like tight mode, and like, oh my god, and can't let go. If we can get to that space where you just 30 seconds, just like, okay, everything, all my favorite mantra, everything's always working out for me, all things are working out for me, all things are working out for all of us. Breathe in, take at least 3 deep inhales and exhales, and I will feel a shift. You will feel a shift. And you can do this while you're in the middle of a conversation, or you're in a crowd, or you're at your desk at work, customer service, whatever, wherever. And I would purposely practice even that. I felt like I was led every, we're just being continuously led to where we're supposed to be. I just want to say that. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
that's been
amazing.
a really,
Thank you for sharing that. That just gave me some different perspectives and ideas. And what you meditating in the middle, purposely and consciously, in front of people. So how's that feel? How's that working? Is that
oh my gosh, let me tell you, the only thing I want to say is just, and the more you do it, then of course more becomes habitual to you. But the I want to say the biggest part is to remembering to do that, because when you're holding your breath, you won't. You know what I mean? Our body's holding on to, but to remind yourself, wait, 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 breathe. Which by teaching my kids that a lot, I learn it more too. Because when they're in there, I'm like, breathe, pain, angry, whatever, I'm breathe. And so by me telling them that all the time, they'll
right?
tell me too. And then I also just remember, okay, let me. And when I did it and I felt this release and I felt this release, I felt okay, it did something. And then I felt I was, whatever it was still there, but there was just such a calmness about it. And then when that happens, I noticed things work out. And even if it didn't work out the way you were planning for it to work out, you're at peace with however it's working out.
It's working out.
So I just did it
Yes.
more and I did it more.
Amazing.
And I did it more,
Yes.
you know? Yeah.
Yes.
Still practicing it, but doing it more.
Amazing. Amazing to be in a place, a space where you're okay. You're in that. You're connected to your own inner peace.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's not circumstantial to anything, um, or judging. It's just you're at peace, no matter how it worked out. Like you said, and that's just being real with it. It might not be the way that you wanted it to work out, but
Yeah.
you're okay
Yeah.
nonetheless. So
Yeah.
that's awesome right there.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. Thank God for that.
I need to start doing that myself, practicing that meditation. And I do it alone, but I want to practice that. So when you say in the middle of a crowd, like where will you be when you do that?
So the first time, okay, I would do it like you said by myself too. And then sometimes, my kids would come in and it would distract me, and I'd realize I'd be more in a bad mood going into meditation. So I wanted to find a way to like not let that switch me into a mood because I was trying to be quiet with God. So crazy. So
Yes.
I first started doing it when I worked in the call center setting. And so there's a lot of people talking, but you do have your one focus on your computer. And so what I started doing right there was like, while I was waiting, I would just even doing that right now felt good.
Yes. Deep breathing.
And I realized, okay, that felt good. So then when I got a second, like I said, I would hold on to my crystals. I had bigger ones at the office at the thing with me, and I would hold them and I would feel it. And I would like, oh, it's like, I like, and people can see it off of me, and I can deflect whatever they were having. Like I was able to not pick up their bad moods or pick up their attitudes. So I just kept practicing it more and more and more until like, I mean, I literally, that's what I, going to the office, that would part would bring me peace to keep the job, because as many times I felt like I would have walked out if I had not started practicing that tool.
Wow. Yeah. Many people are not aware of how powerful and how liberating meditation really is. A lot of people, even including myself in the past, had affiliated meditation with some type of occult or some type of mystical uh,
Yeah.
or
Or that you
or
have to sit in a particular type of
yeah,
way, and you
or some
don't.
type of religious based thing that I'm not a part of.
Way.
But now that I'm more aware, I understand that that's just basically connecting with your higher self, and it's just helping you to refocus and center yourself into, like you say, you know, uh, uh, block out other
Yeah,
people's thought currents
yeah,
and negative energy around you. And
yeah.
yes, it has been nothing but good for me, since I started
Same.
meditating, and I'm learning how to do it longer and longer, and be in that state of just being
Yeah,
without attaching to hooking
it can
on and
become
attaching to a
addicting.
thought.
It feels
Yeah,
so good. It can
yeah,
become addicting.
it
But I
feels
just wanted,
wonderful.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, and it helps you to get through um different situations and circumstances and adversities, and even
yeah.
your own mood swings and shifts. I mean, because let's just be real with it. We all have different
Human.
energies and shifts and emotions that go through us, and that's
Yeah,
the important thing to realize, that we don't have to attach to any of those emotions, and we can allow them to flow through us and observe us and do what it take do whatever it
yeah,
takes to help us to get through that trying moment and get back to that peace within
yeah.
ourselves. And I believe meditation is a
It
powerful
is one of my biggest tools that I love to bring out there. I want to share a quick story. I don't know our timing, but I just want to share this really quick thing when it hit me with
oh, go ahead.
meditation. When I
Or
first really decided that I was going to wake up every morning, no matter what, and dedicate at least 15 minutes to my soul. I was it was me and my girls, and we were living by ourselves in this little, like, it was a big acre with this family, but it's out in the boondocks, okay, in Central Florida. And um I my daughter, my steps of stage of awakening with my daughter was, she my 2-year-old daughter had cancer when she was 2.
Oh,
And then
wow.
so whilst we were in the hospital, a lot of what happened to her helped bring out what had already been planted in for my awakening state. It sounds horrible to say this to anybody else, but it was one of the best experience I've had, because she's still here. She's alive. She's 6 years, 7 years in remission now, first of all. And then
Wow.
second of all, the yeah, the what it brought out of me and my kids was amazing. And then the connections we made. It was the most, it's kind of like how the C word you said, it's
Yes.
like supposed to be so devastating, but it ended up being the best kind of experience for your evolvation kind of thing happening. That's what happened. But
Beautiful.
so yeah, after we were home from the hospital, I got really depressed, and I was trying to think like, just I started seeking God and source, like, show me what to do. Anyways, I started learning about meditation and hearing these teachers talk about meditation. I'm like, I'm gonna try it. And so for like a week, I would wake up and I would meditate for a few moments. And like you said, I did it sometimes for 3 minutes. I set a timer for 3 minutes, one for 5 minutes, because I couldn't sit there for 15 minutes when I first started. I couldn't even sit properly because I was out of alignment completely. And so I was doing this for like 1 week. And then I was like, oh, okay. And so like the next week I slept in, and like 2 days, my daughter goes, Mom, did you stop doing that meditation thing? And she goes, because you're kind of grumpy today. When you do it, you're not so grumpy. And I was like, oh, I didn't even
She noticed the
realize.
shift that you weren't
She
keeping up with
noticed
your
it.
medicine.
Yes. And I was like, wow, it is. And I noticed where I was still not totally happy with the day, but there was a more peacefulness about it. And so it was doing something in a deeper level. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a commitment every day. And since I did that, life shifts so much for me.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Right. I get it.
So I love to bring that
Believe
to
me,
the
I get it because I feel the exact same way. And
Yeah.
like I said, I'm still learning to sit still.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
since I'm used to
I know what
moving.
you mean.
Yeah, I'm used to moving around, and you can say
Yeah.
it's a form of anxiety, whatever. But I'm just so, I have so much going on, or it's my creation, of course, because
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
but
Yes.
so I'm not blaming on anything, but I just have so
Yeah.
much going on in my mind, as a lot of people do, and we just
Yeah.
have to learn how to quiet that. That you
Yeah.
know, the more things that you experience in life, they add to those
Yes.
thoughts in there, and then you have to figure out a way to calm all that down. We deal with illnesses and losses and triumphs and celebrations and jobs and people and goals and projects. It's just so much, and
Yes.
and we have to learn how to still balance that and create that harmony within ourselves with no matter what is going on.
Yeah.
That's the key right there.
I do. Yep.
Wow, I appreciate you sharing your wow. That's all I got to say. Is just I've learned so much just talking to you for
I mean, this has
this
been
period
so
of
much
time.
fun for
Just like,
me too.
what, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm saving that here. I'm like, I should have brought a pen and paper, and next time, what I'm going to, I should always have a pen and paper, especially when I'm
I
talking to somebody.
I know. Me too. It's
Always, so I can
always
write
right
down.
downloading. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can write down things. I don't have to remember. I don't have to get up. No, what did she say? But the good thing about this is that this is on recorded, so I can go back and watch all
Oh
this and
yeah.
learn. You know, go back into the classroom and say, "Let me see
Yeah.
what students taught me today." So it's amazing. So again, how can people find you? How can everyone find you? You have a group that's entitled "All Things Possible."
Yes, one word, all things possible. Not all things are, but just all things possible on Facebook. And then I have all things possible 37 on Instagram. And then you can just find me on Facebook, just regular Prudence Kalloo. You'll have my name
Okay.
on I can give you the link so you can put it on there if you like.
And connected to this video, I'll make sure
Yeah.
that there's I'll have a couple of your links so that people can just watch the video or after the video, before the video, click on it. And I encourage everybody to to follow this woman and just connect and peek in and see what she's doing in her group, and just
Thank you.
be inspired. We all need inspiration, and and absorb some of that good positive energy, whether it's something that you yourself resonate with, or not. I mean, the main thing is that her intentions are to just uplift and inspire people, inspire herself, and learn and evolve and grow. And I think that in some way we all can connect with that. So I appreciate you, Prudence Kalloo, Prudence Kalloo.
You
Okay,
got
I keep wanting to say Kalo. Why?
I
But
know. People
Prudence
always like
Kalloo,
Hawaiian with Kahlua, but no.
yeah, Kalloo. And that is that. Can I ask you what is that?
It's Indian and I'm Indian and African. Kalu is
Oh,
my
okay,
dad's last name, so it's most likely Indian.
Indian.
But I'm born
Okay.
in Trinidad, yes, but I'm Indian and African.
Oh, Trinidad. Oh, okay. Wonder.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to go to Trinidad.
yes,
Wow. And one
yeah.
of my favorite boxers of all time,
Who's
last
from
name is
Trinidad?
Trinidad,
Oh
Felix
yeah,
Trinidad.
yeah.
No,
I've
he's not.
heard
I don't
everybody
think he's
always.
from there. I think he's from Puerto Rico, but
Yeah,
his
yeah,
last
but
name
his
is,
last
is
name is
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
So
of
I'm
him.
familiar with that name. It's stuck in here, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to go to the island one day.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And yes, hopefully you give us a tour.
yes.
So thank
Thank
you.
you so much for having me on. I appreciate also to be able to share. Like I said, I know just us taking this moment today was going to switch my vibration, and our attention is to help somebody hopefully switch theirs, with something that they heard us sharing together with. So I appreciate the moments that you share with me as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. Love and appreciation is mutual, and we are connected now, and we will be
Yes,
speaking again and again, and I already
yes,
know. So
yes,
it is what
same.
it is, and
I've
it's
seen it
beautiful.
too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
I've seen it too. All
Peace and
right.
love to
Much
everyone,
love.
and
Blessing.
see you soon.
Bye
Enlightened,
bye.
empowered, evolved.